Hi everyone, so first review for this week is for Chasing Dreams by A.L. Brooks. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Chasing Dreams by A.L. Brooks was such a lovely story. Claire, she heads out to Oregon after buying this wonderful house, but when she arrives, so she comes to this little town and she meets Ruby. Ruby's also wanted this house so she can pursue her dreams of turning into an animal shelter. So there's a bit of an instant tension between them, and there's also a bit of attraction too, which makes it super complicated. Ruby's very upset with Claire, and she doesn't trust that she's going to stick around and be worth investing in anyway. So when Claire and Ruby get to know each other a little bit better and Claire learns of Ruby's dream, she kind of becomes instrumental in helping make it happen. So it's a really feel-good, lovely story. It was amazing, really heartwarming. You know, despite all this built-up tension and angst flowing through it, this most intense relationship developed, because you just didn't know, like, they were so unpredictable in what they might or might not do, whether that was, you know, what you were interpreting most of the time or whether that was actually truth. It was kind of difficult to decipher, and I loved that because it made it unpredictable. But what worked so well with the story was the development. There was a lot going on. There was lots of characters and lots of things happening, and Ruby and Claire both sort of had different aspirations and paths, but there wasn't too much detail that got in the way and got you caught up in long, wordy sort of exchanges and scenes between the characters. Every little detail didn't have to happen, and so it really focused on those important moments and moved the story along really well, so that Claire and Ruby you know, built up this amazing picture of what they were doing, but there wasn't sort of too much detail about all the bits and pieces going on in between them reaching milestones or making decisions, or it was just really well paced. And let's talk Ruby and Claire. I just loved Ruby and Claire. They were amazing. They were so amazing. It was Ruby though. She had all the tension and angst was really built into her because someone's come into her place and they've taken what she was planning to you know, get her hands on, and she's been working really hard, but she just couldn't, you know, get the money together in time and all these sorts of things. And it was most sort of understanding of why. You know, she was fighting it. She really didn't want to like Claire, but I really did get why. And there was a lot to understand about Ruby, but it was most entertaining watching her do it though. You know, you've all had that moment where you just don't like someone. You don't really know why you don't like them, and they don't really know why you don't like them, but you just know you don't like them, and it's because they've done something so insignificant or small that they had no idea they were doing it to you, but you've taken it to heart. And that's a bit like what happens between Ruby and Claire. Like, Claire hasn't got a clue what she's supposedly done to this woman in town that's like really mad and doesn't really like her, which is really great. I love that. But you just can't help, you know, you don't want to like them, but you just end up liking them, and that's really what happened between these two. They didn't want to like each other. Well, I don't think it was more on Claire, it was more on Ruby. She just really didn't want to like Claire, but she sort of couldn't deny she had to. And it brought a smile to my face. It was really lovely to you know, this whole story about Ruby trying really hard not to like Claire and not to interact with Claire, and then she's kind of like being through situations where she hasn't really got a choice and she has to. It was fantastic. But they had a great chemistry, and I just had this, you know, just had this hope with me during the story that Ruby was going to get over whatever this was and see that there was potential here and try to explore this relationship, because it was really intense and really amazing, and you just knew they were going to be great for one another, which made me really feel for Claire. She just wanted to go to this place, she just wanted to escape, and she finds herself literally the moment she gets there embroiled in all this tension. She's a newcomer in town, there's people like suspicious of her and everything, and I love it when they got talking though. Claire was definitely going to win Ruby over as well as other people. She had a really kind heart and she was a really good person. So once she realised what Ruby's problem was, she was so adamant and determined in finding a way to support Ruby get what she wanted anyway, without giving up everything she'd worked hard for. So I really loved that about her. She was a good person, and she was genuine, she was kind, and you know, there was no one better suited to help Ruby achieve her dreams, which I really loved. She helped Ruby to see alternatives and other sides and options and explore, and just genuinely together they could come up with a plan that was great. But I'm a big fan of A.L. Brooks anyway, and Chasing Dreams did not disappoint. I absolutely loved it. It had a fantastic plot, memorable and lovable characters, a real feel-good purpose to it, and lots of off-the-chart chemistry between two amazingly strong women. They were both very strong and you know, independent, and it just was such a beautiful romance. It had heart, it had sentiment, and I just cannot recommend it enough. So I really, really hope you will go and check out Chasing Dreams by A.L. Brooks, and I will put a link in the description so that you can. I really, really hope you will go and grab a copy. If you've read Chasing Dreams by A.L. Brooks, then please do let me know what you thought of it. Please comment below and get involved. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't read it yet, but you're planning to read it, or you're now really intrigued and thinking, I really, really want to read that book, again, please comment and let us know, because it's always great to know what you are reading. And if you do read it, I really hope you love it. Bye.